Hi everyone, Mary at Espresso Press Design. Thank you for joining me today, April 8th, 2025. Today I'm just going to do how should I say it, probably a compilation of ideas. And I'm going to get started on ideas for journal covers. And I'm probably going to enhance one. And that's probably about it. But so let's get started. I just want to show you that I did complete this cover and I did begin practicing slow stitching. I have a long way to go, obviously, but I chose a blue because I felt I could probably find another fabric similar to this easy enough. And I didn't want red, white, and blue unless it was a derivative of patriotic, and that was the other choices were pretty much spot on with the American flag. So I just didn't want an overly patriotic theme when this is not exactly a patriotic journal, or it's a collage book for me. So that's why I chose the blue. And then I began practicing my slow stitching even more. And I found a channel, Sarah Humphrey Embroidery, and I think she also has Sarah Humphrey Creates. And she had a video, 20 things you can do with slow stitching. So I began making these little coasters for practice, and this is my first one. And I used a piece of indoor-outdoor fabric that's kind of like canvas, and a bunch of little fabric scraps. And this one happens to be on my dining room chairs. I had some leftover from that. So that's been a lot of fun. So today's new paper is Jelly Playhouse, and it is like bow jelly prints, and it's fun, a lot of fun. I think it goes like this actually. Yes, it does. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you'll check it out if you want to. It's on Etsy, and it's in Whimsical collection. And that's actually my largest paper set in Whimsical collection. So my thank yous, Barbara, Rebecca, Ronnie, Yoon Young. I'm probably butchering that. My apologies. Paula, Carla, Arlene, Terry, Cheryl, Stacy, and Bev. And thank you, Bev, so much for your very kind, thanks so much for your kindness and thinking of me. And if you did not see it, I did reply to you on Facebook. So, right when you can. I understand everybody has things going on, and I'm sorry to hear about what you had going on recently, and I hope things are much better for you. So, I have been collecting, and it's taken me a while to build this up a little bit, but I have been collecting things for journal covers that are not, that perhaps maybe you didn't think of, that you can find in thrift stores. And my first one, and This was a handbag that I deconstructed because I thought that was cool. Obviously a vinyl piece. And then I squared it up as best I can, and I'm going to make a couple of little journal covers out of that eventually. I meant to do it at Christmas and then ran out of time. Another thing you might consider is I found this, and this is a device case. So let me first say, when you're in a thrift store like Goodwill, if it's like my Goodwill, the book prices have gone up and they never have them on sale. So I often check out other areas of the store to find book things I might use for covers, and that includes fabric and all that, of course. So remember, check out other areas of the store, and you can often find a lot of these things on clearance in non-thrift stores and stores in general. You can, after the school sales, just periodically, you can find a lot of these things on the clearance rack. So this is a device cover, and you would have to trim your paper down slightly, but as you can see, that would make a pretty nice journal cover. You would have to do something about that hole if it bothers you, but you could, I'm sure you could find a way to embellish that, or maybe hang a charm from it if you put it this way. Hang a little charm from it or something, and it is sturdy enough, it's soft enough. You could bind through the spine, sew through the spine, or you could insert another spine and do it that way. Either, yeah, insert another spine of your choice and do it that way. This is just a simple little notebook with, it's very pretty. I know you won't see it, but it has, oh, what would it be? Kind of like, okay, my mind's blank. Okay, it's not coming to me. It has tiny, tiny flowers printed on there. Very light. Jeez, why can't I ever think on camera? I just did it, and a watermark, kind of like a watermark. And the cover is already done. I mean, you wouldn't have to do anything to that. And if you wanted, you could just remove the pages, and it's a very well constructed little sketchbook journal. You can find these often on clearance in a lot of stores and some very good stores. So here's another one, and I believe this one was from, yes, this is Hallmark. And this is a journal, and the signatures in this are actually sewn in, and you wouldn't have to do a thing to that either unless you wanted to. So this is also very well constructed, and as I said, the signatures are sewn in, and I would probably remove those and put in another fabric spine. And there you have a nice, I love this size too. In particular, you have a very nice little journal. This one, I actually picked this up to possibly do for my meditation journal. And all I would have to do is remove, I could do my pages, punch out the holes for the rings. I think, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I could actually reinsert pages on these type of rings if I wanted to. I think that could be done, but the same thing, if I didn't want the ring, I could just take it apart and do a fabric spine and cover up those holes, and I have another nice journal cover. So sometimes it's fun just to reconstruct things in a different way. And here's another example. I love this cover. I have to work at getting these stickers off here. And this is a notebook holder. And this comes out easily. And I could just hide that with another piece of paper. I mean, it's not a very large spine. I could just cut the spine out and reuse the covers. And I love that pattern, and I love those colors. And I also love this paper. So that's another project in the wings. So that would be very easy. That would be almost exactly like a book to do that. And that would be no problem whatsoever. And I think I might even have some fabric right now that would match that. Let me grab it real quick. Well, actually, I might have more than one. Maybe, maybe not, though. Here. That might not be too bad. And actually, this one caught my eye. This stripe here. But maybe not. Maybe the blue's a little too dark. Okay, sorry about that. I was just thinking off the top of my head. So then we have this. Well, first let me get to this. We have this, which was also an address book. I've had this for quite some time. All I would have to do is, I have the pages that were in it, measure them, and make a book and slip it in that slot, and then just redo something on there. I was going to spray it or something. I mean, underneath it is like a cotton, and I'm quite sure I could get away with making it more vintage or whatever I wanted. I just haven't because, I don't know. I thought it was nice when I bought it, but lace kind of isn't my thing. So that might be one I would construct and maybe do something else with it. I don't know. But I haven't done it yet. But that's another possibility. And that would be so simple. Or you could just ignore that and do another spine and bind your signatures in there. Now here's another example. This is another address book. Paper and Ink Studio. And I just thought the cover was really pretty. Now I could make this a sketchbook and put sketchbook paper in there and use it as is. Or the same thing, I could just remove the spine and use the back and front cover. But the other point is that at Goodwill, these were, I almost never, I don't know if your Goodwill has these type of sales, but mine does. It's one color tag is 50% off and the other one is, I think, 39 cents for things like this. So I almost never buy anything unless it's 50% off, but I'm pretty sure this was like 39 cents. And a lot of these, if not most, were 39 cents. So when you compare that to their hardcover books, which I think are $2, well, you decide, but in my opinion, if I'm just looking for a book cover and I already have enough book pages and I don't need any more, I'm going to be looking in another section. So then sometimes you can even find things like this where someone already made a book and I just happened to run across these in my own Goodwill. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be right on that because it's already done, and this is pretty good paper. Feels like business stationery, and they did a pretty good job of binding, and I can use this right away. So I was right on that. And you can find a lot of this homemade stuff at Goodwill that somebody already did. You might have to go back a little more often to keep searching, but eventually you will probably run across something like this. And there was another one, and that was this one, and it might have even been made by the same person because it's quite similar. Let me check the, yeah, it's pretty similar binding there, so I'm guessing it was probably made by the same person, except they didn't finish off the inside. So I thought to wrap this up so I can begin using these, I would just cover the insides with you. So that's what I'm going to do. I have some pre-cut scrapbook paper, and these are just scraps, and fits pretty well, goes well enough. So I'm just going to glue these in here with you, and that will wrap up this video. So I hope you found it helpful, and you know, now that I've caught on to this. And the other thing regarding the vinyl, I have more projects I might be able to do with the vinyl. So the Persile, the the travel items, you know, those little like makeup bags and things like that. Those are also source material for covers, because sometimes a lot of them are like needlepoint, and you could, if you find a large enough ones, you could use the fabric from that. Or the handbag section, a lot of times you can find needlepoint and canvas type bags, and you can deconstruct those. And so I always take a stroll through that aisle as well. And then of course, don't be confined to the fabric section of your store. I found that out. The fabrics are often pretty expensive, but if you go to the other side of the store and take a look around at curtains, placemats, what else? Pillowcases, things like that, you're likely going to find a lot of fabric items that you can use that aren't, you know, traditional fabric. So I often do that. And another item you might look for that you can find a lot of and often have really nice covers. And I also have another, I forgot about that one, or I probably would have showed it too, but it is really nice. I have one and it's covered with vintage postcards, or vintage or retro postcards, and that is photo album covers. So that might be another option as well. So yeah, just sometimes you don't even, I don't know, sometimes when something isn't in your mind and you're looking for something else and you can't find it, you think there's no other option. But in reality, when you can't find what you want, then you kind of start thinking outside the box. And that's the case for me. A lot of times I'll go in and I'll just be like, well, I can't find it, I'll just look next time, and then I leave. But then sometimes I'm more like, well, I really want to do this project, so let me think of what else I might be able to use. So, okay, this one just took a little repair, a little, not repair, but a little enhancement. And I have a little sketchbook, collage book. Of course, I'm going to try to see if this will stand up to watercolor, because this one does not seem like office paper. It seems like one of these seem more like sketchbook paper. Yeah, this one seems like office stationery, and this one seems like sketchbook paper. So I have a ready-made book, and I can just relax and enjoy it, and I don't have to spend the time to make it. So, okay everyone, that's going to wrap this video up, and I've been waiting to do this for quite a while, so I'm glad I got that accomplished, and I have quite a stack that I shouldn't have to be searching for any of this for quite a while. So thanks a lot, everyone. I'll see you next time. You have a great day and a great week. Bye.